Well, welcome back to continue our discussion talking about weight loss. Joining me again is Lauren Bradley. She's with the Tulsa County Health Department, City County Health Department, dietitian, registered and licensed, as well as health educator with the Tulsa Health Department. Now let's jump in. In our last segment we were talking about as we ended this energy consumption. I want to go back to our energy chart. Because you mentioned on our energy chart that, for instance, this 30-year-old female that was 5 feet, 5'5",
about 130 pounds.
About 130 pounds would need just every day about 1,300 calories. Just day-to-day walking around, just breathing and existing. Beyond that, looking at what kind of activities you're engaged in can tell you what other additional caloric consumption you really do need.
Correct.
Now, many of us, as you mentioned too, take over that. We eat well above and beyond that. If we're wanting to effectively lose weight, and you talked about no more than 2 pounds a week would be safe.
Exactly.
How do we look at decreasing the food consumption to actually get to that? How do we look at how many calories we should take off to equal a pound, that kind of stuff?
Well, 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of weight loss. So there are a couple ways I could do it. The easiest way for most people when they try to lose weight is to start with reducing the food. Sometimes the exercise is difficult, but even making food changes, you can lose weight to start with. A lot of people find that easier. So the best way to do is kind of split up into 7 days. And so if I reduce my caloric consumption by 500 calories, 7 days, that would equal my 3,500 calories, and that would equal 1 pound of weight loss. So
now, if I want to lose this 2 pounds a week safely that you mentioned, I'm going to have to do 7,000 pounds? Calories. Oh. You can tell you've already got me going.
Wait a minute.
7,000 calories in a week.
You'd have to do...
Because you said 3,500 is 1 pound, so I'm going to have to do 7,000.
I think
twice as much?
Twice as much, yeah.
So I'm going to really have to modify every day quite a bit if I want to lose the 2 pounds a week.
You'd have to cut calories a lot.
Because I want to go for the gusto, as we all do.
Yes.
So 2 pounds. Now, whether it's the 1 or the 2, how can I do that in a safe way, in a healthy way? Tell me about the kinds of foods I need to focus on to try to do this, or portion sizes. I know every time you're on we talk about portion sizes. So tell me, how can I really do that safely and realistically?
Well, the best thing to do is start with by looking at your overall consumption. The easiest thing to do to figure out where you can cut is to write it down. So for a couple days, just keep a food diary. Start off writing everything you eat, whether it's 3 M&Ms or a handful of popcorn, write it all down. Because you don't
everything
really know.
that gets into your mouth, Lauren, you're saying. Because we don't think about the little mints and things like that. Right. But everything.
Everything that goes into your mouth, keep a record of it for 1 or 2 days. Because usually, or do 1 weekday and 1 weekend. Because that's sometimes people eat a little differently on the weekend than they do on the weekday. So start by writing it all down, and that will really give you an overview. And that's a huge shocker for a lot of people when they write it down and see how much they're consuming. An easy thing to start with that people drink a lot of is soda, juice, anything that you drink. That's an easy way to cut calories by switching to water or switching to something that has sweetener but it's not a caloric sweetener. So sometimes diet pop would be better than regular pop. Either one is not too healthy for you, but that's a way to cut calories if you do have to consume pop and feel like you need to have that. So start with your drinks, because that's an easy fix.
That's a really good idea, because actually you may find for some people cutting out those high caloric drinks that we're not paying attention to. And you even mentioned on one show looking at our orange juice or things like that they do have calories in them. That can be a way that you can really, even if you wanted to try losing the 2 pounds a week, to do it a lot more safely as well as easily.
And again, your body needs the water anyways, and a lot of people don't get enough. We need 8 cups of water. So again, by just taking out those drinks, you can easily cut, I bet, 500 calories a day if you are someone that consumes a lot of those. So that would be probably step 1, I would say, after looking at our little food diary. The next thing I would do is look at how much snacking you do throughout the day and what kind of snacks you have. That's another easy fix. If you, instead of grabbing the Snickers bar or the potato chips out of the vending machine, try to make some healthier choices at the vending machine or when you're out and about. The biggest key is be conscious of why you're eating. A lot of people just start getting in a hurry and grab this and grab that, or if you're at your computer or if you're at home watching TV, you just put it in your mouth and you do not even pay attention to how much is going in.
You know, and that's true, because to pay attention, to notice when you are doing the snacking, is it due to stress, you know, very stressful situations, you find yourself eating a little bit more? Is it just when other people are around and they're nibbling, then you start to nibble a little bit more and don't pay attention? Maybe your favorite show comes on and that's when you tend to do the nibbling. Maybe to feel better, you nibble. So to pay attention to why we're eating when the body is not saying, I'm hungry, because normally if we're hungry, we're going to get that hungry sensation, and then when we eat then, it's actually used better, isn't it, by the body?
Yeah. It's the unconscious eating that can get you. And so when you're keeping your food diary, that's something we have a lot of people do too, is write down the time of day and what you're doing while you're eating. Again, driving in the car, sometimes people will grab something and just start shoveling in your mouth. And so pay attention to what you're doing while you're eating. The best time and best place to eat is when you're sitting. You're focusing on, I'm hungry, I want to eat now, and you're listening to your body cues. You're listening to, oh, okay, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat. Am I full? Let me give it about 20 minutes, because that takes about 20 minutes from your stomach to signal to your brain, you're full. Give it 20 minutes before you have that second portion, or before you keep shoveling. So again, listening to our bodies and really taking time to eat. I think so many people get in a hurry, they forget to slow down, and it just
I agree with you, and I think too, especially in the society we are in today, whether it's younger kids or whether, no matter what the age is, that we often are doing other things, multitasking, talking on the phone or whatever, even during the main meal, and you really don't even feel like you ate. Or you even wonder, did I finish all of that? You know what I mean? And so when you're feeling like you didn't finish all of it, you go back and get some more when you really did finish it.
And you were full, but you hadn't given your body time to register, I am full, I have had enough.
Okay. Now let me ask another question, because you mentioned about the vending machines and making healthy choices. Let's say if you're still wanting to do the chips. They've got baked chips compared to the regular chips. Should we look at baked chips as really being healthier, or are they really not? Or tell me about those options.
Well, I mean, if you are a chip person and you have to have crunchy, my suggestion would be to start with pretzels. Because pretzels are, if you take the salt off and brush some of that salt off, really they're a pretty low-calorie snack. And that would be the best thing to do, I think, is to go for the pretzels. Not the Chex Mix with all the pretzels and all the other stuff in it.
Right, because it's a more caloric mix.
Yes, pretzels. And then again, if you are going to choose chips, then yeah, baked chips are a healthier choice because they're not frying them in that oil and putting all that extra oil on them. They are baking them, which does reduce your caloric intake, and they probably have less sodium too.
Okay, now what about popcorn? Because that is another thing that we eat now. Is popcorn really a healthy snack? We've often heard popcorn is a healthy snack. Depending on what you add to it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, popcorn is a great snack to have at work, because actually a serving of popcorn, just regular popped popcorn, is 3 cups. That's 1 serving of popcorn. You can have so much more, but again, where you can hurt yourself is if you have the triple butter, super salted, but if you just have plain, low salt, not a lot of butter popcorn, that is an excellent snack, and you can have more of it. So some people in their head are like, oh, I can have more. That would be one you can have more, as opposed to something like chips where you don't need as many, or nuts are another snack that have kind of a lot of fat, but a serving is 1/4 of a cup.
Okay, and tell me about fruits and vegetables, kind of. We often think that we can eat as much of that as we want, but is that really true?
Well, for vegetables, I would say almost all vegetables eat away, as long as you're not adding all the salt and butter to it. Fruit, a healthy choice, but we need less fruit because they do have natural sugars, so we don't need as many. So in moderation, but about 3 to 4 servings of fruit a day would be fine. And 5 or 6 vegetables.
All righty, take another quick break and come back and get some more tips. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.